This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have supervision, enhanced hearing, extraordinary reflexes, to be, dare we say, superhuman? Well, Roku's new Pro Series TV can't do any of that for you. But with a 4K screen, side-firing speakers, and a blazing fast refresh rate, it'll sure feel like it. Elevate your entertainment using all your favorite apps like iHeart and play all your music, radio, and podcasts with the new Roku Pro Series. Your senses aren't better. Your TV is.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Fan.
Check out our contest page now to see how you could win a pair of passes to an advanced screening of The Accountant 2, starring Ben Affleck and John Bernthal, in theaters April 25th. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest. Enter today.
Legendary Mark Rosen joins Common and Tennessee now for the first of 3 times this week. You know, there was an old story that ran around the country clubs years ago where Posh and Tony, big downstroke initiation fee, a lot of old money, blue bloods at the club, and a younger guy joined, and so he goes out on a Saturday to play with 3 of the older members, and he asks them, "So do we have a game going here?" And they go, "Yeah, we play a little 2-2-2 Nassau, $2 on the front, $2 on the back, and then $2 overall." And the young kid goes, "Come on, man, we all make big money here. Let's play for some real dough. How about $2,000 a piece?" The guy goes, "Well, we kind of just like playing a 2-2-2 here." The guy continues. He chides him more about making it for more money. And the old guy looks at the kid and he goes, "You're working over there for Cargill now, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "And what, you're bringing down about what, $350, $400 a year?" He goes, "Yeah, I make $400 large." He goes, "I'll flip you for the $400,000. But we play a 2-2-2 here." And the reason I bring it up is because I wanted to just bet you $2 on the Masters, both you and Tennessee, but you guys had the big money, big pockets. You really want to play for big money? Okay, if you want to go 20, I will.
Well, you wouldn't be cocking off if we had won the bet. I know that. You would be like,
well, I knew I was going to wear it.
No, you didn't know.
You know what it's called? It's called taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, okay.
And I just dominated.
None of us took Rory.
Well, that's okay. I didn't trust him. If you would have taken Rory, you might have won, but you didn't.
No, I took. My top 2 were fine. I mean, Scheffler obviously did fine.
I won. I had Scheffler and Rahm. They both made the cut. Making the cut was the important thing.
It was. Both my guys did too, and this is the second tier. That's when you just throw darts.
But I think you had 5 guys miss the cut.
I know.
That was your problem.
Well, that's the problem.
I only had 2 miss the cut.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It was fun.
I have a great golfing night.
It was a great Sunday. I will tell you.
It was high drama, as good as it gets.
I mean, it's most sporting events, as we all know. Whether you're, for the most part, 3 hours, football games, NFL games.
Yeah, right.
This was a. I mean, if you invested your time and your day and wanted from the time they teed off at 1:30, it was 5 hours.
Yeah. Actually, a little more, and I went to right until 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it went to a sudden death.
It was
playoff.
as good as it gets. I mean, for a sport that now will disappear till the next major. Basically, I mean, nobody really pays attention. I think this week is
just the hardcore golf fans.
Yeah, this week's the heritage.
It's kind of a niche-ish sport a little bit.
It is, and you don't have. I mean, post Tiger. I mean, he was such a draw and meant so much to the ratings. anytime he was in an event, I could see it when I looked at the overnight ratings. The ratings would almost double when Tiger was, especially in contention. It was astonishing how he brought the entire field along with him. Rory certainly had that name and cachet and the drama of can he finally close out his majors, and all that, the way it all went down. I mean, I heard Chris Finch on with PA a little bit this morning, and he cited Rory just about overcoming adversity.
Did you listen to him in the 9 o'clock hour or the 11 o'clock hour? Which?
When he was on live.
Oh, okay. Very good. Just checking.
Yeah, I was at home listening to that for a little bit, and I mean, I think it's a lesson in overcoming your own adversity. I mean, it is. It's true. I mean, golf, as you know, but more than any other sport, it's you and your caddy against the elements and the golf course. No one's going to bail you out on anything. And we saw the ups and downs and the wild. I really couldn't believe he was able to recover after what happened on 18.
Yeah.
I thought he's going to put that drive in the straw and behind a tree.
I thought he wasn't going to be able to survive what he did on 13.
Yeah, well, that's true. That was the one that killed him.
That was even
just a blunder.
That was even more of a
that's true. But even
shot. Part of the reason why I didn't take Rory was for specifically that swing and for this the missed putt on 15 and the 2 missed putts last year at the Open Championship. It just seems when more times than not since his last major win, when it came to the major, he didn't win it. He hadn't won one in 11 years.
Right.
And he had moments, had opportunities in all of them and come up short. And sometimes it was the other guy just rising to the occasion. But oftentimes it was him not being able to make the big shot. So much pressure. And you saw how much pressure there was when it just all came pouring out after he made that 5-foot putt, 4-foot putt in sudden death to win. You saw it just all come out. I mean, I've never seen anybody quite emotional as he was. And he was, Brandel Chambly on live from afterwards said it, and it's been quoted a lot now by people. And the way he described it was I thought perfect. He said it was probably the most bipolar round of golf I've ever seen in my life, because he went from first hole making a double, and he admitted afterwards that making that double may have been kind of a blessing in disguise, because he was so. I mean, look, he's been working for this his entire life, and his first opportunity for a major was when he was just a kid and was at Augusta, and he had a 4-shot lead going into the final round, and he shot 80 the last day. It was just awful. And he's been close at Augusta. That's the one he's missing, the one you want. You want to go to the Champions Dinner. You want all of this, and you want to make the career Grand Slam. So the pressure he would put on himself, that's why the guy that deserves a lot of credit is Bob Rotella. He was the one, that's a legendary sports analyst, psychiatrist, whatever you want to call him. And for instance, he told Rory, don't talk to DeChambeau during the final round. You can't
stay focused.
Not because you don't like DeChambeau or not that DeChambeau, I think, is more of a guy who would want to joke around a little bit, and maybe that helps relax him. He was told, don't do that. You don't want to do that. He wanted to stay in his own cocoon, as he said. And so he makes the double, and after one hole, it's tied. He had a 2-shot lead. And then you saw, and this was suggested on the telecast, and I believe it was true, DeChambeau was... He was doing some gamesmanship. He came onto the first tee box last, because the crowd, as much as they cheer for DeChambeau or for McIlroy, the kids love DeChambeau. He plays to the audience. That's what he does, and he does it very well.
Used to it,
and it was just this overwhelming roar, and it was the idea was he was trying to little gamesmanship, trying to get in Rory's head a little bit, and it may have worked. He makes double. DeChambeau makes par. They're even after one. Then the par 5, number 2, Rory makes a par, and DeChambeau makes birdie, and he's 1 shot up after 2 holes. But then all of a sudden, Rory started to play, makes back-to-back birdies, makes great shots. DeChambeau, he blamed his equipment. I was like that. I remember Paul Peterson, ping guy, says guess what he says? He goes on tour. It's always bad equipment makes bad shots. It's not me. And DeChambeau would say, well, the edge is not quite right yet, and the toe's a little heavy, and this and that and the other. I think that could very well be, but I think sometimes golfers of all athletes always seem to, it can't be me. There has to be something else. There was a spike mark on the green. The wind gusted right when, it doesn't gust for anybody else, but it gusted for me. Nobody else gets a bad lie in a bunker. Only I get a bad lie. If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that. But I tell you what, so then DeChambeau, he lost his chance to win on 11 when he rinsed it in the water and he made double bogey there. And look at how lucky McIlroy got there. That ball on 11 was sitting on the very edge. I mean, that goes another 6 inches. It's in the water.
It's in the water.
And Justin Rose is your Masters champion. Right. He just is. But it didn't work out that way.
Patrick Reed missed a couple of putts that would have put him right at the top of the leaderboard.
Exactly.
Too.
And then you get to 13 and McIlroy's making the smart play. I mean, they also suggested, and you could make an argument for this, when you got your foot on, when you have your foot on the gas like that, and then you get to 13, and because you got a 4-stroke lead, you take your foot off the gas. Is it just a little different in your head?
Well, I talk about it in football. You get a little, you play a little. You're playing the clock, but he wasn't obviously playing the clock, but he got a little conservative, I think.
Correct.
Thinking about it.
Well, but I think it was smart to get conservative because you got a 4-shot lead.
Right.
There's no real reason to go for it at that point, even though it's reachable, because if you do, it is a risk. If you miss, it goes in the crick and you're going to lose a couple of shots. He played it perfectly. It couldn't have been, Dottie said, he's in a perfect spot. Couldn't have dropped it in a better area.
No.
And he
chunked it.
He can go anywhere left.
Yeah.
Is what you're supposed to do. And it's somehow, I don't know if he shanked it or if he didn't let go of the club and he hung on to it a little bit and it goes in the water and makes a double bogey. Then he makes a bogey on the next hole. Now all of a sudden, Oberg, Rose, they're tied for the lead. They're all right. There's other guys. Yep. Reed's there. It's like it's anybody's tournament again. Yeah. It looked like a coronation going down to 13 fairway. And then he pulls off on 15. Is great an iron shot. It was a 6. I thought it was a 6. I read now it's a 7, whatever it is, where he hits it. He's got to have that shot. Where he laid up and played conservative on 13, on 15, he can't do that now. No. He can't. Because the tournament's hanging in the balance. And he hits a brilliant shot. Then he misses the eagle putt. That was a very makeable one. Then he just misses birdie on 16. And then he gets to 17. And that's where he hits the magnificent shot again. The 6-iron, it runs up there. He makes the putt. And then he has a 1-shot lead. All he's got to do, he hits couldn't have put his drive on 18 in a better spot. Then inexplicably hits it into the green side bunker, hits an okay bunker shot, not a great one, but enough where he should make that putt. He misses, and I thought he was done. I was texting with baby brother Peter.
That's what I thought too.
He said, "Who do you like?" And I said, "Rose." I thought because Rose, Rose is over on the driving range.
I'm playing with house money now.
Well, he's over there loosening up, keeping loose because he knows, and all of a sudden
he didn't do anything wrong. He played the playoff hole.
And all of a sudden, he's got to be pinching himself going, I can't believe this. He was 7 shots down going into the day, and now he's going to get in a play. And he lost in a playoff to Garcia back in 2017. Yeah. And he hit a great drive. They both hit great drives. A terrific tee shot by Rose. Our second shot, even a better one, obviously, by
that was the one that did, of course.
By McIlroy. And then that birdie putt by Rose just missed, and that was the end of the tournament.
Well, I mean, and getting back to the idea that Rory didn't talk to DeChambeau during the final round, I mean, Tiger never did in his prime. I mean,
no, he didn't either.
He just kept to himself. And so, I mean, it's not a slight on Rory. Everyone's got a different way of handling themselves. And I don't think DeChambeau meant disrespect. I know there were some, I saw the video, I think when they were on the driving range and they were talking about the Open and they were exchanging something and I think Rory gave him a little needle about, you lost that. You lost that one. You did it yourself, kind of a thing. I don't know if that played into it, but I think Rory was just in his own world with his caddy and just wanted to play it that way.
And that's what I think Bob Rotella told him to do. He said what you need to do, and that's why a lot of these guys, they use those sports analysts, especially in the world of golf, more than anything. These guys, I mean, because it's like you said, you're out there by yourself. It's you got your caddy, but it's you against everybody else, and it's deathly quiet, and you know how important each shot is. And the immense amount of pressure, a lot of it self-imposed on himself, wanting to win that and to be able to come back like that was.
I know Augusta National, the whole thing gets a little haughty and uppity in terms of the way they have to call them patrons. I mean, the whole story right now. But there is something about the back nine because we know the golf holes, and it's unlike whether the PGA is being played or the U.S. Open. It takes you a couple days if you're a big golf fan to even kind of get into the golf course and even understand what the layout is, unless you're playing at the Open.
Yeah, some of them you've seen them. They've been at Valhalla enough that if you watched it, you might not. Pebble Beach pretty well. There are courses,
but
Augusta's not like the Masters. No,
especially coming down the stretch, because they always say the tournament begins on the back nine on Sunday, and it certainly did this time around. Made for a captivating audience.
This text message says, when Rory was lining up the winning putt, does Rosen think the camera should have been on Bryson? You would have preferred that, I think.
No, I would not have.
Well,
no.
And how good was Bryson on Saturday?
Well,
when he's got a 40 feet, he's in a fairway bunker. He's down 3 on 18. He hits a shot onto the fringe that almost trundles down into the collection area, but it hangs up. He's got like 45 feet, and last shot of the day, he buries the 45-foot putt to get to within 2 for birdie. He's pointing at the crowd. They're roaring, and you got to know, Rory knew what happened there, and DeChambeau was sending a message like, I'm coming for you, and he did. He turned a two-stroke deficit into a one-shot lead after 2 holes.
And getting back to that last shot, from a television standpoint, from someone who admires, the art of broadcasting, and whatever, if you think Nance is a little too flowery, whatever, that's, I'm not going to argue with you in your own personal opinion, but they did a magnificent job of letting the action tell the story without a spoken word. Those last from the moment,
the sacred sod.
Well, as soon as he was done saying that, and Rory reacted, they did not say a word for 7 minutes. That was good TV.
Not talking the famous story. I've recanted this one a couple of times. The 71 U.S. Open. Mm-hmm. Trevino and Nicklaus in the final group, and no one's ever denied it. So I think it's a true story. It's legendary. Nicklaus goes up on the first tee to their pair together final round. He goes up to Trevino. He says, "Lee, I'm not going to do much talking today." Mm-hmm. Lee looks at Jack and says, "Don't worry, I'll talk enough for the both of us." And he did. And Lee went on to win because Lee was a talker. Lee liked to
It's like being with you every day.
Yeah, when I'm on the golf course, a lot of people don't like playing with me because I talk all the time.
Yeah, right.
But some of
talking your backswing.
Well, my friends will stop their backswing if they don't hear me talking.
Right.
Because they're like,
you're like that.
They think I had a heart attack or something. Why is he not talking right now?
True.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got Twins, Wolves, and Wild to get to with the legendary Mark Rosen. We'll do that next year on The Fan.
The Fan and BigDeck.com wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword money at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is money. Enter now, KFAN.com.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Indecision. Overthinking. Second-guessing every choice you make. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Beige on beige on beige. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
What are you looking for in a new smart TV? 4K picture quality? High quality and immersive sound? A sleek design? All of those are givens, but only the new Roku Pro Series has all of those and the Roku streaming experience, an award-winning OS. Get fast, easy access to all your apps like iHeart, where you can stream all your favorite music, radio, and podcasts all day, and regular all-inclusive trips to Roku City. The new Roku Pro Series, a smart TV built by the streaming pros.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
13-14 pass, common tend to be. The legendary Mark Rosen is here as well. Your Minnesota Twins team.
Oh, boy.
They lose last night 5-1 to the Metropolitans. Some good numbers, some bad, mostly bad. The pitching staff has been very good.
Yes,
the starting staff. There's that ERA of like 0.94 in their last 5-6 starts, whatever it is. But the offense has been woefully inadequate. They were again last night, just a couple 3 hits, score 1 run.
Right.
They're 5-12 on the year, and they had the lowest attendance they've ever had at Target Field since COVID. I tell you what, it's not looking good, and you can use all the cliches you want. That it's early and it's a marathon, not a sprint. But boy, at this rate, this could be a long season.
Well, you expected, and I think even as spring training was winding down, that the Twins would hit. I mean, if you look at their lineup, even discounting the idea that Royce Lewis wasn't going to be available, and he's still, I love reading about ramping up his baseball activity over the past week. He's taken batting practice over at with the Saints one day, and then he hits the Twins. It's like, his quote was, "I could play one-legged. It doesn't matter. I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited to be out here with the boys again." Okay, well, get back in the lineup and stay in the lineup. And that's not the reason why they are where they are right now. I mean, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Correa doesn't look healthy. He's hitting 153, the top of the order. I mean, Buxton, struck out 3 more times last night. He's hitting a $179. They just don't have any consistency. They don't have a guy that you go, okay, I'm not suggesting they're going to have a Juan Soto. I mean, you look at the Mets lineup and they've spent just an absolute boatload of money on the Mets trying to keep up with their crosstown rivals, the Yankees, and trying to keep up with the Dodgers and the rest of the National League. But they're stacked. Their lineup is stacked, and they're just a matter of time. And Joe Ryan pitched about as well as you could pitch for 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 8 strikeouts. He's looked phenomenal. But, I think of our old friend Tom Kelly, who would have those guys out there at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'm talking about the pitching staff, not working on pitching, working on fielding. It's just a disaster. I mean, some of the mental errors and physical errors, and the mental errors they've been making is the stuff that TK has got. I hope he's not watching for his own health. I mean, this is the stuff you work on those alternate fields at Tinker Field, as you like to call it.
I love Tinker Field.
At Fort Myers back in February, about the boring pitcher covering first base on the ground ball to second baseman and relaying the ball, just doing the simple things, and none of that's happening right now. And that's to me is just being mentally lazy and not keeping your head in the game. That's a lot of it. And I don't know, maybe it's the chill in the air that they're trying to keep themselves warm and think instead of thinking about all the situations they have to address. But it's just I don't have to tell you, it's just. The Twins own an 0-6 record in their series openers this year. They've been outscored by 22 runs. It's all the negative statistics, plus the fact that because the weather's not great yet, they're drawing measly crowds. No one's really talking about the team. You're up against the Wolves starting the playoffs, the Wild hopefully clinching tonight, the Vikings draft next week. I mean, I don't
think that keeps people from going.
No, it doesn't keep from going to the game, but it keeps people, at home from maybe engaging, or you're watching something else. I mean, I'm a big, kind of a baseball fan. I have a really hard time right now.
They're not giving up on them already.
Give that question of giving up on them. I'm talking about the day-to-day exercise of saying, you know what, these guys are fun to watch. They're not going to win all the time, but they're not fun to watch. They barely get the ball out of the infield. Once in a great while, like over the weekend, they'll have a good offensive performance. They'll put it all together, but that's been few and far between. So, I'm not giving up on them yet. No, we've seen too many things happen in baseball, especially in a winnable division. They were in a different division. I'd say, it's already pretty much over, but it's not in this division. They certainly can get hot when the weather warms up, and maybe Royce Lewis will make a difference, but
when the weather warms up, so will the bats. That's what you've always told me.
I have, and you can't just rely on that. But there's not a lot of help down in the minors at the moment either. They're pretty much, Brooks Lee is here now, and I don't know. to say other than Royce Lewis. That's really about it. It's up to these guys. I mean, I don't know what Correa's situation is. I don't. He doesn't look healthy. He can still make plays in the field, but I know he's traditionally gotten off the slow starts in April. But you can't. The bell's rung. Let's go play.
Here's what I'll tell you. Right now, if the Twins continue at this pace, Joey Chestnut will eat more hot dogs on July 4th than fans will at Target Field.
Oh, boy. I right now would not want to be in their
half second
sales department. Yeah, I was good.
Thank you.
And of course, I mean, like last night, it's a rhetorical question. Why would you go out there? I mean, the weather's cold. It feels like you're watching an outdoor football game.
I think first pitch was 46 and wind was blowing about 20, 25.
Yeah,
the real feel must have been.
Hey, let's go to the ball game tonight.
Real feel must have been like mid 30s.
Yeah, I mean,
and then when the thing is if you're doing something like moving around, it's not as bad. But when you're just sitting in a chair watching the team, you're freezing to death.
Had the Twins gotten off to a good start, above 500 or hanging around 500, instead of 10,000 something last night, they probably would have had 15,000, 16, 17. I don't think it would have been a much bigger crowd. I mean, they don't traditionally draw very well. They used to say, well, you got to wait till school gets out and all that. But right now, it's, you got an outdoor ballpark, and in this time of year in Minnesota and other places, the weather's just not going to be conducive for fans to sit out there for 2.5, 3 hours.
I just did it first time in my life. I opened an avocado, and I'm eating an avocado. I mean,
holy cow! Look at you.
I've eaten an avocado before, but I've never opened one myself. I'm
impressed.
Somebody else do it for me.
Yeah, I love avocados. And very healthy for you.
And you know what I did? The reason I did this, if Tenneby can teach me how to peel a banana the proper way, I can open an avocado.
I always love that.
Totally credit Tenna for giving me that tip as well about the way I have a banana almost every day too. And
Tenneby, you should do some kind of a Martha Stewart kind of a blog or some type of a video.
When it comes to eating blogs, people want to hear from me.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Did we do somebody was asking, did you do a Grand in Your Hand?
I did. Thanks for listening.
Well, then why are these people, listeners, listen up. It's 1:15. Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got Wild and Wolves. Big game for the Wild tonight. Some controversy regarding what the club's lineup decisions. Yes.
I know.
Decisions. And then we've also got the Wolves. They start against L.A. on Sunday. We'll break, come back with more after this here on The Fan.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Uncertainty. Self-doubt. Stressing about not knowing where to start. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Word art. Sorry, live, laugh, lovers. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
Hello, iHeart listener. We have a confession to make. Both iHeart and this commercial you're listening to right now would probably sound a heck of a lot better on the new Roku Pro Series TV. It's got side-firing speakers that fill your room with sound, Dolby Atmos audio that puts you right in the middle of the entertainment, and the ability to pair seamlessly with your home theater sound systems that already have surround sound and booming bass. If all that sounds too good to be true, it'll sound even better on the new Roku Pro Series. Your hearing isn't better, your TV is.
Hey everybody, so when you get asked what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Ooh, but then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Meaningful Beauty, the famed skincare brand created by iconic supermodel Cindy Crawford. It's her secret to absolutely gorgeous skin. Meaningful Beauty makes powerful and effective skincare simple, and it's loved by millions of women. It's formulated for all ages and all skin tones and types, and it's designed to work as a complete skincare system, leaving your skin feeling soft, smooth, and nourished. I recommend starting with Cindy's full regimen, which contains all 5 of her best-selling products, including the amazing youth-activating Melon Serum. This next-generation serum has the power of melon leaf stem cell technology. It's melon leaf stem cells encapsulated for freshness and released onto the skin to support a visible reduction in the appearance of wrinkles. With thousands of glowing 5-star reviews, why not give it a try? Subscribe today and you can get the amazing Meaningful Beauty system for just $49.95. That includes our introductory 5-piece system, free gifts, free shipping, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. All of that available at meaningfulbeauty.com.
And
final segment of the day here on the, what do we call it, a Tank It Tuesday? Is that what we call it? I can't remember what we call it. Tank It Tuesday.
Used to be a Talker Tuesday.
Yeah, that was back in the olden days. It's a Tank It Tuesday. Today I'm Common. That's Tennessee. Mark Rosen here as well. Minnesota Wild, they can advance to the playoffs by getting 1 point tonight. So either, is that called a overtime?
Overtime or shootout loss, yeah.
Overtime or shootout loss.
This gets overtime.
If they win, they're obviously in.
Right.
If neither of those happen, there's a couple of other teams with the Blues and Calgary. If they lose, the Wild are in. But you can take care of business yourself. And then one of the sidebar topics is the new kid they signed, Zeev.
Booyah. I don't know why they boo him when he's on the ice. It doesn't make sense to me.
They did it in Denver. They did it everywhere he's played. It's sad. He's supposed to be our best prospect, but he's not going to play tonight. It's got some Wild fans in a tizzy. Why aren't we playing him? He's really good. We could use him. Do you think the coach is making a mistake by not playing him? And what do you think is going to happen tonight?
Well, I think, the fact that the veterans, Jared Spurgeon and Middleton, are back tonight. Jake Middleton did not play the other day. When they say Spurgeon got a shot in the throat.
He took an elbow to the throat a couple games ago.
Yeah. So, he's back. And I guess the question is who you going to take out instead of having the kid play. I think everyone wants, I heard Tanner earlier say, yes, of course we want to see him play. But I understand the thinking behind it. And I'm sure, Hines and Guerin huddled and they talked about it, and I'm sure the kid understands it. And they got to go with, the guys that have been through it before. And they've had success against Anaheim, right? They played awfully well against them. So just go win the hockey game, and maybe we'll get to see Zeev come playoff time, maybe in Vegas if they open up there, and give him a chance to get his legs under him and a couple more practices, and maybe he'll get an opportunity to play. But yeah, you got to take care of business. You can't be doing scoreboard watching. It's inevitable because the St. Louis game starts, I think, at the same time, and they have to lose in regulation or overtime to Utah.
Is the game here?
Yes.
Whew. Don't have to worry about
9 o'clock
time zone change, circadian rhythms, and all that thing. So we got that going for us. At least if we lose, we won't have that as an excuse.
Yeah, just go win, and it looks like they'll play. The odds are they play Vegas, right? Tenna in the first round. Is that
if they win tonight, they will.
Okay.
If they lose tonight but still get in, it's possible St. Louis could jump, leapfrog them.
So
or Calgary could leapfrog them.
Yeah, they had a great start to the season. Obviously, they've had a bunch of injuries. The Kaprizov thing set him back, and now he's back. And you hope that that his overall health. They fortunately came back with that game against Vancouver. That was just
he didn't skip a beat. Looked like he hadn't missed a game. Scores 2 goals. Same with Ecke. He scored 4. It's like they weren't even out.
Well, that's the only way that the Wild would have any chance at all in the postseason. Yeah, I think a great matchup with Vegas. That would be fun, just to have that series. So first things first, just take care of business tonight and earn that playoff spot. Don't have to scoreboard watch. I think the fans at XL, Sold Out XL tonight, will be welcoming that sight and the sounds tonight.
Well, and even Calgary, who's chasing them, they play Vegas tonight. They play the Kings Thursday night.
Right.
Both of those teams are locked into their playoff spots. So Vegas is sitting a bunch of their good players tonight. I'm assuming the Kings. So you can't depend on
you can't.
other teams losing to get in. So You got to take care of business.
How many? I mean, I know we always talk about in the NBA when they're sitting 5-6 guys, and then all these other people get a chance to play. In the NHL, how many options do they have at that point to not play some of the regulars? You know what I mean? I mean, do they have a dead deep a bench that they can? No,
it's usually like 3 guys.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's not like they're not going to try. I mean, I can't imagine that. But
instead of loading up your top guys for so many minutes, you're going to play your fourth line a lot more. That's that kind of stuff.
Well, anyway, just go win.
And as we saw with the Wild, when you take out 2 of their best players, the effect it has on your lineup.
Correct. We sure did.
And it's also like when you're in that spot, you're going to be trying your hardest to block a shot, right? You're still going to play a little cautiously and make sure you're avoiding injury to a certain extent.
Yep. The long postseason ahead. You hope.
The NBA equivalent of the NCAA play-in games are coming up. Who do you like tonight? It's I don't even know what the matchups are.
Well, Orlando plays. They play Chicago. Who do they play tonight?
Atlanta, wasn't it?
That's Atlanta. And those two teams do not like each other.
Yeah, I don't.
No, they don't. They hate each other. That's what I've heard.
I'm not much interested in that game. I'll probably stay up and watch. Ja Morant against Steph Curry and your guy Jimmy Buckets.
Who do you like in that game?
I like Golden State.
You do?
Yeah, I think it's not the road they wanted to get into, but it's that's the problem when if you fall. And it's not like teams haven't advanced in the playoffs a lot after playing in the play-in game. But
could it be the play-in game serving them better? Do you think they'd rather? Because if they would have won, would they have gotten the 3 seed and they'd be playing the Lakers? Do you think they'd rather play Houston?
Probably.
So maybe.
But
it'll work out in their favor if they win.
We'll see. Again, it's and Memphis isn't going to be any pushover. I mean, they can light it up too, and with Bane and John Morant. But that's on tonight, and then they play again. The winners and losers both find a way of. It's just they don't have any prep time for the next series. That's the one thing. That's a disadvantage if you keep winning and win a couple games to get to the actual playoffs. And obviously, the Wolves open up Saturday night in Los Angeles. We don't even know when Game 2 is. The NBA doesn't announce. I don't know why they can't announce the first 4 games. I don't get it. I do know it's TV, but the Wolves and the Lakers series will all be, and they're all on national TV in some capacity. But the Wolves and Lakers are on ABC Saturday night, and they'll be on ABC whenever they play, probably Game 2, and because it's the Lakers, and based on the national perspective and all the people who are picking the series, you wonder why Chris Finch is even going to bother traveling out there.
I've seen the best is a gentleman's sweep 4-1.
Yeah,
that's what they think. Lakers will win 4-1.
Yeah, that's kind of the consensus.
We like it that way.
Yeah,
overlook us.
Go ahead. Go ahead and doubt us. Yeah, I'm excited.
Wait till Ant goes off for 55. On Saturday.
55. Yeah, you have to overcome. And look, I'm not taking a shot at the officials, but you have to be ready for Doncic. Listen, Doncic is really good at drawing fouls, and I heard Finch talk about this today, and he said you got to have you mostly for the other side. I mean, Ant in particular. I think without mentioning him by name, you cannot let the officials frustrate you and get technicals or let it get in your head. I mean, it's going to be enough of that gamesmanship going on. But no doubt about it, that's just based on how he plays. It's not just against the Timberwolves, but Doncic will go to the line 8-9 times at least on Saturday night. That's who he is. That's how he plays the game. And LeBron isn't too far further behind. But you can't let that frustration, sometimes they're legitimate fouls, other times they're just, Doncic doing what he does better than anybody in the league, and that's leaning into a guy when he's taking a shot and getting called, the other defender getting called for a foul. You just have to be better than him. And I really think the key to this series is Rudy Gobert. He's been playing he's been. Obviously Ant has been terrific, and he's going to score his points.
Why is it Rudy Gobert?
Because they don't have a true center, and Gobert has been playing.
Then you just play small ball and you just draw Gobert away from the basket. He can't sit by the basket if you play outside.
Yeah, but they can find ways. Well, he can come out, but they can get the ball to him inside. He has been at his best. I mean, he's been playing the best basketball of his career the last month. And, he was out for quite a while with the injury and the back injury. He's back. He's playing really effectively. And I think that... if
Gobert's the difference in the series, I'll leave town. I mean, he's important, but I don't think it's...
Well, I mean, I think he can be a difference maker because the Lakers don't have Anthony Davis anymore. They don't have anyone in there that...
They got Doncic now.
Well, he doesn't play center. And I'll be interested to see...
Doesn't need to. When he goes to the basket, he'll draw 2 fouls in the first half.
Now, that's what I'm saying. You have to...
I'm telling you. I think the big man thing is overrated.
Jaden McDaniels
it's important, but it's overrated.
Well, yeah, but he's been playing. I'm just saying he has been really good lately. Really, really good. And he has to, as in his words, he has to dominate. He has to play that level. This is
I think whoever has to defend Doncic is the key to the series. And who was the best at defending him last year? Do you recall? Was it not slow-mo?
Well, no one
We didn't need slow-mo.
We didn't need slow-mo.
No one was really good at defending him.
Slow-mo was the guy.
Yeah, but
he ended up taking over as the series went along.
Well, Jaden McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker will probably deal with that. And even Ant, I think Finch was talking about that. There'll be times when Ant will be guarding him. I think you got to make Doncic work on defense. That's the thing you got to do. You got to try to.
I agree.
Wear the fat man down.
Wow,
fat man.
I read that somewhere. I don't think of him as being fat.
So you stole somebody's take.
I heard it. I don't have any question of stealing.
Well, here's what somebody said. This is interesting. Tim, listen to this. Says Rosen will actually hear somebody say something, then hours later he actually believes it was original thought. I can hear it in his voice. It's a special kind of mental gymnastics.
I don't even react to these things anymore.
I always love that one.
The Larry Mandela guy?
No, I just like the way it's worded. Yeah. It's a special kind of mental gymnastics. Yeah.
If people would spend that time of creativity on their own life, it would be... I get a kick out of it. It's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to save that one. It's a special kind of mental gymnastics that you employ.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, what he's saying is that you'll hear a take, and then hours later you'll use you'll hear Lieber, and then you'll use Lieber's take, and you've convinced yourself that it's your take.
Okay. Number one, I don't hear too many shows too often.
You don't?
I'm not as bad as you are when you never listen to the
I don't listen to the station.
No, then you admit
I don't
that.
even listen to what I have to say.
Well, I got news for you. You're not missing much. I'm trying to... There's my original take. How's that?
Funny stuff. You're not the first to say it. It's not original. Trust me.
Yeah, I heard your son talk about that.
Yeah.
When he's in here on Spread Swing.
Think about it.
Can't wait for Spread Swing. We're getting closer.
Can you get him a job somewhere? Anywhere.
He's not going to need it. I helped him. I know. Given him, he's going to be fine. He's a smart kid. He'll be fine.
He's talking about spending a couple of years finding his footing in my basement.
Tell him to travel.
There's plenty of time to get a job.
Yeah, I know. Go travel somewhere. Go to Europe or
He's
something.
been to Europe.
I know.
He did that already.
I know, but...
How's he going to pay for that?
You're the ATM.
I know, but I'm, Well...
Give him that year off.
Tennessee, you familiar with Jalen Clark?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Rosie is.
Rosie's been watching him since his UCLA days.
Yeah.
He's pretty good defensively. I think Doncic could have his hands full.
Well, they're gonna put a lot of guys on him. What I'm trying to say is that they are going to try to. I mean, especially you want to get Doncic to work on defense because he is he's not a great defender, and they know that. And the guy I worry about for the Lakers is Austin Reeves. I mean, he can be really, really good. I mean, he's a terrific player, but it's just this whole aura that the Wolves are once again. It's a team that made it to the Western Conference Finals last year, and it's because it's the Lakers. And they have the history, and they have, we're going to see all the shots of Kareem and the late great Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson, and go. It's going to be that whole buildup. It's like, it's the Lakers.
The refs will be watching the highlight board. They'll
all be in. Yeah, my God.
Do you think that the officials will be favoring the Lakers in this game? I
don't want to think that way. I just think it's naturally, like I said, I don't look at it, well, how many free throws they're going to end up shooting in the Wolves. They're going to shoot more free throws than the Wolves. That's just their game. LeBron and Doncic get to the line. That's what they do. The Wolves have to overcome that. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say they're getting cheap fouls all the time, but you will see a lot of, and we know Ant does it. Ant, he makes a basket, he puts his arms wide out, going, "Where was the foul called?" It hasn't helped his cause very much. He's got to stay away from getting technicals. and let just do your work. And you got enough talent. I'm excited about the series. I think it's going to be a great series, and I don't mind it at all. I look forward to it.
This person says, listen to the mental gymnast, Mark Rosen, a.k.a. Mary Lou Forgettin', acting like he doesn't remember hearing takes.
Wow. Are these people that creative? What they do for a living?
Mary Lou Forgettin'.
So good.
Oh, I'm crying like Rory right now.
It's hard to make you laugh that hard.
I'm like Rory.
Yeah. Well, here I am. I come in every day on my own.
Yeah, think about it. Just to take.
I got my podcast, which I do. So
how
that's
is that going?
It's going great. Thank you. It's on the iHeart too.
It is on the iHeart.
Rosen Sports Monday. It's lots of fun.
And let me ask you a question. So, Shelby, have you done a second one yet?
I've done 3.
Oh, you've done 3 altogether.
I did one Monday.
Okay.
No, I did the one that dropped yesterday was about just kind of recap. Like how I got to where I did.
Okay.
My personal story about growing up here in St. Louis Park.
Okay.
And, creativity and seeing. That's why I get a kick out of seeing people play on unsupervised games, on pickup games, I think that's how people create creativity and all that kind of stuff. So I talked about that and getting into CCO. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So
so that's your second one.
I did one with the group. We did that live with Lavelle. And,
that's right.
And Michael Russo and Johnny Krasinski.
Okay.
We're going to do those quarterly. And then otherwise we do, everybody records different ones. Different days. Then I did Shelby talking about, basketball and how much it's meant to him and his personal life and going through treatment and the strokes he's had, all that. It was really powerful.
That's what I've heard. I heard a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, it was good. It was very, very good. I mean, from as long as I've known Don, it was terrific. So, yeah, I got a lot of other, besides sports stuff, I got other things. So, hopefully they'll be original enough that people won't be.
Isn't that funny?
When I do something about caregiving and I do something about.
What is wrong with people?
I think nothing. They're just having fun.
Yeah. Well,
I don't.
There's nobody.
I don't care.
That gets cajoled, teased, ripped more than you. And nobody takes it better.
I don't.
I've never. I don't know. I think
my career is.
I think I'm pretty good at taking gruff, but I'm not.
Because I know if it was mean spirited to the point of people, my cup is full, as they say. I've had the wine, women, and song.
Yeah,
I don't really
tell him his mama wears what's the mama boots? What's the army boots? Yeah.
Your mother wears army boots.
Yeah, take that, Rosie.
Take that, Rosie. Now that's something you can't have.
No, you can't. You can't come back from that.
No.
So what else we got?
Well,
we talked about
the new coach for the Gophers.
He's signing people left and right.
Niko's got all the, and again, now none of these players are household names. It's not like he's signing the equivalent of David Robinson, but they're players that have been very good in the school they've played in the conference. Lesser schools and conferences,
right?
But they're really good, and that's how you can build a team. I mean, I'm curious to see. I mean, for the first time in a while, I think I'm sort of kind of excited about the Gophers, at least to see what it's going to be. I'm not excited like I think we're going to be really good and we're going to threaten to win the Big Ten title. But I go, hey, it's a new coach with a new outlook who's been successful everywhere he's went, and he's brought in some guys that apparently can play basketball a little bit, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what they're spending, because it's interesting. You don't have with so and so. We always talk with a professional player signs a contract. You pretty much get the information out, agent or the team, and mostly from the agent. 3-year, whatever, $1 million contract. When you sign a kid from Colorado State, is he getting 150,000, 200? Is he getting more? Is it but they don't need to release that information. It can be private if they so desire. So,
okay.
It's good. It's a good sign. I mean, that was the one problem I think that Ben had with Ben Johnson, was that he just something was just not connected with Dinkytown sports and what its connection with other teams, and obviously Medved's come in and already locked up some players that he hopes. He's got 6-7 new guys already coming on the team for next year.
And then Paige Becker's one of us. She was the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft yesterday.
Well, again, and she signed.
Is she playing for Dallas?
She signed with Unrivaled. Again, the WNBA's contract is up after this year, the players' contract, so they're going to renegotiate a much better deal. And she signed a deal with Unrivaled, so she's making a lot more money signing with that organization than she will playing basketball for Dallas, as she should. I mean, she deserves all that. They're gonna fill state arenas. It's going to be the Caitlin Clark effect, I think, and it's great for women's basketball. They are now. It seems.
Do you think they'll keep up the momentum?
I do. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think they're establishing beyond Caitlin, and I think we saw pretty much all but 2 or 3 of her games are going to be on national television, and not just from the television standpoint, but from an arena standpoint. Pretty much every game she plays is sold out, and I don't know if Paige is going to have that immediate effect. It's pretty hard to duplicate what Caitlin did, but Angel Reese, they have name players now that pretty much are, and then you got a team like the Lynx that are. Nafisa Collier. I mean, they have really good players, and I think it's a kind of a rebirth of the WNBA with a new generation of players, and more to come. That's it. We're done.
That's it. Hey, music's playing. And as you were talking, I was packing up my bags.
I know you're packing up your bag, getting out of here.
I got a lot of things I got to do. I got to get started on the yard work is what I got to do.
Yeah, you do.
Been putting that off for a little too long.
Well, go wild.
Go wild. Big one tonight, and then... a lot of people will be watching. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Tenemy, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. I thought it was a great combo we had today. We enjoyed spending part of your day. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. We enjoyed being with you. Really, truly we did. Stick around, though. Don't touch that dial. Big Ticket, JG, they're next, right here on the Fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota. Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
What are you looking for in a new smart TV? 4K picture quality, high quality and immersive sound, a sleek design? All of those are givens, but only the new Roku Pro Series has all of those and the Roku streaming experience, an award-winning OS. Get fast, easy access to all your apps like iHeart, where you can stream all your favorite music, radio, and podcasts all day, and regular all-inclusive trips to Roku City. The new Roku Pro Series, a smart TV built by the streaming pros.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include a lot more people than ourselves. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, we help plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because even though our business is helping guide your finances, our ambition is to make it mean so much more. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.